Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on October 26, 2022. Accountability gap, Nobel Peace Prize winner warns Russian war crimes going unpunished. The Guardian, ECHR judge calls for Putin to face war crimes trial. Brazil election, bellwether state could have future of democracy in its hands. The Guardian, new gun club opens every day in Jair Bolsonaro's Brazil as weapons become key election issue. Paraguay rebel, anger as body taken into jail for farewell. China's Xi deals knockout blow to once powerful youth league faction. Ukraine war, South Africa row over Russian superyacht's arrival. BBC, sanctioned Russian oligarch Alexei Mordashov allowed to dock superyacht in Cape Town. Sky News, South Africa to let Russian billionaire's superyacht dock. The Independent, sanctioned Russian tycoon's megayacht is free to dock at SA ports, says presidency. News 24, Nordyacht, sanctioned Russian tycoon Mordashov's ship to dock in South Africa. Wreck of sister vessel to famous 17th century Vasa warship found in Sweden. Sky News, Swedish archaeologists shore up identity of lost warship. The Times, Swedish divers find 17th century warship. Reuters, Swedes find 17th century sister vessel to famed Vasa warship. The Washington Post, the Times view on the rediscovered applet, ships from the deep. EU plans tighter controls on pollution as doctors call for urgent action. The Guardian, EU to crack down on air pollution with tougher laws. France 24 English, Brussels sets out tighter EU air quality rules. Politico Europe, pharma and cosmetics groups targeted by tougher EU rules. Financial Times, EU targets zero pollution by 2050 to curb premature deaths. China accused of illegal police stations in the Netherlands. BBC, China accused of illegal police stations in the Netherlands. BBC News. BBC News, China using illegal police bases in Netherlands to target dissidents, say reports. The Guardian, Dutch government probes China's police stations in Netherlands. Al Jazeera English, Netherlands accuses China of operating illegal police stations. Universities in US and Canada beat UK in Sustainability League. The Guardian, IIT Bombay, Delhi and JNU most sustainable institutes in India, QS World University Rankings, Sustainability. COP27, what is the Egypt Climate Conference and why is it important? BBC, COP27, where and when is the next global climate summit taking place? The Independent, Egypt shuts down event spaces on first Monday of COP27 in blow to NGOs. The Guardian, COP27, why it matters and 5 key areas for action. World Economic Forum, the energy crisis and Ukraine war have lowered expectations for COP27. Transitioning to renewables will take longer than anticipated. Macron-Scholz, difficult Paris summit for German Chancellor. BBC, Macron, Scholz to meet in Paris to discuss diverging policy stances. France 24 English. France 24 English, Germany's Scholz and France's Macron hold very important conversation. DW, English, French-German relationship under strain as EU faces harsh tests. The Local France, the Irish Times view on Franco-German ties, the Irish Times. Turkey arrests doctor's chief for terror propaganda. Indonesian woman's body found inside python, say reports. BBC, python swallows woman at plantation in Indonesia. The Guardian, missing grandmother discovered in belly of 22-foot-long python. The Independent, grandmother in Indonesia swallowed alive by 22-feet-long python. The Telegraph, reports say Dem find one Indonesian woman body inside python bell. Brittany Griner News, live, WNBA star heads to penal colony where abuse, forced work common. The Independent, Brittany Griner, jailed US basketball stars court appeal rejected by Russian court. Guardian News, Brittany Griner, Russian court rejects appeal over jail term. BBC, Brittany Griner's appeal denied by Russian court. The Wall Street Journal, Brittany Griner, US basketball player has appeal rejected by Moscow court. Businesses call for nature impact disclosures to be mandatory by 2030. The Guardian, mandate nature impact disclosures from corporates, 300+ businesses urge world leaders. ED.net, force firms to reveal their impact on nature, major businesses. Phys.org, global firms urge governments to require mandatory disclosures on nature. Reuters, meet the industry lobbyists fighting efforts to solve the biodiversity crisis. Germany announces plan to legalize cannabis for recreational use. The Guardian, Germany, Health Minister Lauterbach presents plan on cannabis legalization. DW, English, Germany to legalize possession of up to 30 grams of cannabis and sale for recreational purposes. Euronews, Germany unveils plans to legalize cannabis. Financial Times, Germany set to legalize cannabis for recreational use with sale and production also decriminalized. St. Louis school shooting, latest, Orlando Harris had AR-15, 600 rounds and manifesto praising mass shooters. The Independent, gunman in deadly St. Louis high school shooting had 600 rounds of ammunition. Sky News, everything we know about St. Louis school shooting that left 3 dead. The Independent, St. Louis school gunman's note describes perfect storm for mass shooting. Russia-Ukraine war at a glance, what we know on day 245 of the invasion. The Guardian, Russia-Ukraine live news, Putin oversees drills of nuclear forces. Al Jazeera English, live, more than 70,000 people have left Kherson province, pro-Russia official says. France 24 English, Russia, Ukraine to fight heaviest of battles in Kherson. EURACTIV, Russia hits more Ukrainian targets as first U.S. anti-aircraft systems reportedly installed. Global warming to exceed Paris target despite climate pledges, but increase is slowing. Iran protests, clashes after crowds gather at Mahsa Amini's grave. BBC, Iran protests, when will Tehran listen? Conflict zone. DW News, Iran's security forces reportedly opened fire as thousands mourn Mahsa Amini. The Guardian, democratic South Africa cannot be silent on Iran's FEMA. Daily Maverick, clashes erupt between Iranian security forces and protesters marking Mahsa Amini's death. Rishi Sunak's cabinet and a horror show, Wednesday's best photos. The Guardian, UK. Cabinet, Rishi Sunak reappoints Hunt, Cleverly and Braverman. The Washington Post, massive blind spot, anger at low proportion of women in Sunak's cabinet. The Guardian, Rishi Sunak has already done one thing right, getting rid of Jacob Rees-Mogg. The Independent, new Wales secretary wants to get families and firms through challenging winter. Abandoned Russian base holds secrets of retreat in Ukraine. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.